Right. We have one important announcement to make, and that is that a week from today, in olden days used to be called, I think initially only informally, the Low Sunday, because the people were done with Easter and everything was kind of low. But since then, especially Pope John Paul II had moved the holiday, and this is now the holiday of Divine Mercy, a very important element at the present time in the Universal Church. There's a tremendous revival of interest in the Divine Mercy. We have the icon, the painting there, but as you know what it is a series of revelations that was given to the now sainted Polish nun, Maria Kozłowska, regarding the function of divine mercy, both to the living and to the dead. And I am not going to penetrate into it much more now than others, but being raised a Catholic boy in Catholic school and for a while in the monastic seminary as well, I can tell you that the rediscovery, let us say, on a wide scale of the divine fact of the divine mercy is a very important thing. I think the others have very little notion as to how difficult it can be when for every little transgression, let's say little children feel that they are going to go down below, deep down below, there is a place for them to go. That is my musical talent. But anyway, let's say the teaching about these matters have been pretty difficult and pretty unclear, and I think if they can be clarified in a benign manner, then the Universal Church will be very much better off, because there is a whole mystery about the theology of mercy, and we would be here for until next Easter if I went into various details of it. But it indicates that even though with our mortal minds we may not perceive it, we may not understand it, there is a constant presence in our lives of the mercy of God. And that mercy, if you study it, which we are not going to do now, it comes from the French word merci, which means really the ability and the power of the Divine Spirit to forgive and forget and bring out of difficult situations people by way of mercy. Now, there's much more to it than that, but I think that's important for us to remember. So let's say, we are all extremists. We think that we are not able to understand the mercy of God. We are sinners, which is of course something that by some denominations is greatly emphasized, and so forth. But the issue is that we may be all that. I mean, we are obviously not perfect, either in body or in spirit, but at the same time, there is someone, there is something, some mysterious power that is so perfect that it can share its perfection with us, and that is the mercy of God. So this is important to remember. There is someone, we have a friend somewhere way away from here, but at the same time still very close, who looks out for us and who has in his consciousness or her consciousness always, look, don't be concerned about what happened in the past. Be concerned with the fact that we can be merciful, and we shed our mercy, we shed our goodwill, we continue to shed our love on you, and that way you are, whether you are here on earth or somewhere else, you will be in our care, because hasn't our son said that in my house there are many mansions, and indeed so they are. So keep that in mind. Now this doesn't mean that one has to become arrogant and prideful. That is the way of the atheists, and people are, oh well, we are the only thing that matters. Karl Marx and Lenin and all kinds of other goofs. But obviously there is something else going on here. No matter where you are, no matter what you may be doing, no matter what you may have done, no matter what you are going to do, one of the most terrifying truths of life is there is someone there who loves you. And has loved you from the beginning and still loves you. And that with that love of God comes the merci, which is the French word of forgiveness, of goodness, of reconciliation, all of these matters. And I think the participation of ourselves in these matters is of utmost importance. And there is no way of contradicting that. If you really get the feeling that there is someone who loves you, came to me once under strange conditions in Father Charlie Welsh's garden on Mount Washington. And here I am, I spent my life in church up to that time, but then all of a sudden I knew that there is someone there who really loves me, there is someone there who will exercise divine mercy on me, and that therefore I don't need to be concerned about that. I tell you, when that really enters your consciousness, it's a momentous recognition. You don't know whether you'll survive it, but as you can see and hear, I did survive it. But anyway, this is a very, and that this particular facet of the Christian teaching has always been there. But it has been, like so many other things, shoved under the carpet. I hope a real beautiful Persian carpet like this one, and neglected, because it's much easier to deal with people if you can threaten them. Listen, buddies, if you don't shape up, why, you're going to go to hell. Oh, yeah? So let us say, that is always there because it's a human motivation. If you dealt with children, either your own or somebody else, you will see that you probably accomplish more discipline by threatening children than any other ways. Now you behave because the big dragon is going to come and eat you up. That's what we used to see. We had in Hungarian folklore, the dragon has 7 heads. Very Kabbalistic. You can see some of the tree of life where down on the bottom of the tree is the dragon coiled up, and his heads extend to the 7 lower sephiroth of the tree. So whether that is of great importance or not, but it is an interesting image. And so we need to keep in mind that indeed there is mercy, indeed there is goodness, and that if we do our best, which I'm afraid we seldom don't do, then once again, then all shall be well and all manner of things shall be well. But it's the important thing to remember. You know, the people say, well, you have to conduct a sort of a connection with the divine. And when you have prayed enough and been good enough and so forth, then you have it. You know, the connection with the divine exists all the time. It is always there. You don't have to be the architect to build it. It's there. You have to recognize it and appreciate it. That's all the divine wants you to do. If you can do that and do it properly, then you have done something very, very important. So let's keep these things in mind. But we are not supposed to be talking about mercy yet. We have to reserve that for next Sunday. But we are talking about the fact that the divine mercy has always been in the world. Look at all the suffering, all the injury, all the wars, all the terrible things that have been going on in this world from the very beginning. They were always here. Why? Because divine mercy was always here. Whether it was called that or not, or whether people knew about it or not. But that is the golden bridge that leads from this earth to the other world and to the heart of God. This is the one on which we can walk. This is the one that will take us to the entry to the greater life. And if we trust in the goodness and the mercy of the divine, and if we keep that in mind in the course of our lives, then I think we have probably done a great favor to ourselves or anyone else who would be interested in that. Now, somebody whose picture is around here and who was in her own way with her cigarettes and with her tea, nevertheless a messenger of the divine in the end of the last century. Madame Blavatsky said about what really appertains to the he who can roll away the stone from the door of his own inner sanctuary, he has the risen Christ in him. This is Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, the patroness of all esotericism in the West. And so we have to keep that in mind. We have work to do. You know, I don't like that term because I like a situation where I can sleep till, maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and whatever work I have to do, then I decide at that time. But unfortunately, life is not constituted that way, and so we have to go about it a slightly different matter. But this is very important, that we should be there, the alert recipients of divine love, of the divine plan, of the continuity of holiness in this world, and realize that as little and insignificant as we may think of ourselves, we are really not. People talk about a great plan and this and that. Well, I don't know about that, but there is an underlying pattern. There is something that is moving. And I just mentioned the dragon in a malefic context, but it also often in my life I felt that I'm walking on the back of a dragon. And the dragon was very nice to me. And I liked dragons from the time that I was born. You know what, often I liked them better than people. Can't help it, we have our likes and we have our dislikes, you know. But let's say that when we walk on, there is a certain kind of the benign dragon, the good dragon, is like a move, you know, what do they have these things in department stores and not, you stand on it and take escalator. The dragon is like a divinely ordered escalator. It says, come on, stand here at this point, and I'll take you up. It says, you really will, you don't look that benign. So don't you worry, I will take you where I'm supposed to. So in any event, dragons or no dragons, I think it's very important for us to remember that no matter where we are, no matter what we do, no matter what we may have done, no matter what we are planning to do, we are overshadowed by the eternal, by the good, by the loving, by the forgiving, the merciful. Just keep that in mind. Now, of course, we may act often in ways that don't sound to be so compatible with that, but whether we do or not, if we have that resolution in the back of our mind that indeed we want to move toward the divine, toward divine mercy, and thereby come closer and closer to the strange point that we find in various sacred literature, a point that is our beginning and our ending as embodied creatures. It's very important. And so let's keep these things in mind. And now what does this have to do with the resurrection? Because the resurrection is one of these miraculous events in which that connection is fortified. He resurrexit sicut dixit. He rose as he had said. And why can he do that? Because he and other great messengers of light, manifestations of the divine, have the power to do that. And that is the greatest power. That is the power of mercy. That is the power of leading us to our ultimate point of origin, which is also our ultimate point of arrival. So let's keep this in mind. Resurrection, yes. What is it? New life. New life. And deeply hidden within us, we have it. We have that new life. And now and then it sort of knocks on the door of our body. As, do you remember me? I'm here. I will resurrect your spirit. I will help you to get where you need to get. And I will hold you by the hand when we walk over the bridge over eternity. And so may the mystery of that which hangs between and earth descend upon us and remain with us always. Amen. So remember that beginning this Tuesday, we'll have now, while the good Father is here, we'll have a Eucharist in the little chapel every Tuesday morning. And if you go there, you might experience divine mercy. Okay, yes.